What's up, everybody? It's Brock, and we got a brand new episode of All About Today. And today we're learning about a very cool coral that they are found all over the world. This is a Gorgonian sea fan coral. Now, the one you're going to be seeing in the video is, in fact, a yellow finger Gorgonian sea fan, but there is a ton out there that you can get. Jumping right into it, with frags, they tend to be about $30 to $40 for one stem, and then a lot of the more fuller ones can be anywhere from $60 to $80, and I've seen some crazy colors go for even more in the triple digits. So just kind of depending on how big they are, and the more rare of the color makes the price go up. Hair level, they are moderate to challenging, definitely tend to be an expert-only coral at times, especially for the more vibrant colors. Temperature, you want to keep it 72 to 78, DKH 8 to 12, pH 8.1 to 8.4, and your salinity 1.020 to 1.025. Colors, they come in a ton of different colors. You see new ones all the time. Oranges, yellows, purples, reds, tans, and most of the time the polyps that come out of them are white or blue. Now, for some of the more known colors like the purples and tans you see a lot of, they're a lot more easy to take care of. And then the crazier colors like the reds and yellows are a lot harder. So a lot of times you can tell how easy it's going to be taking care of them just by seeing the colors on them. Diet, they are photosynthetic. Zooplankton is a big part of their diet that they feed off on. They are major filter feeders. They feed all throughout the day whenever those little sprouts come out. You know they're eating. So any type of food that you're feeding, just make sure it is definitely good for some filter feeding corals. Origin, they are aquacultured, and a lot of them come from the Caribbean and all around the world. They come from all over. Sea fans are everywhere. The ones that are aquacultured are definitely going to be more hardy. You can't find as crazy colors on them. That's normally where you find your purples and tans, but they're a lot easier to take care of. Venomous, no, they're not going to be stinging any of your corals, but they can be easily stung by other corals, so you want to make sure to put them in a spot where they can grow and spread out and not run into anybody, because things like mushrooms and anemones stinging them can really hurt them, and they do not recover well. Placement, I've seen these sea fans be put anywhere from the bottom to the top of the tank, and they all do well. Most of the time, people do put them in the bottom, though. It's a lot easier to anchor them in the sand than trying to wedge them between a rock. Current, they definitely need some strong current. They live all their life on filter feeding, so they love having a bunch of coral pushing, a bunch of current pushing on them. That way they're getting plenty of food running through them. So high current, but it doesn't really matter where you put them in the tank. Tank size, it doesn't matter. They tend to do really well in a old reef tank, one that's been established for a few years, because they do heavily feed on filter feeding, and whenever a tank is older, it tends to have more stuff floating around in it that they can eat. Lighting, I definitely recommend medium to high, more on the higher side of it, because in the wild they are found in more shallow like waters, so the light is beaming on them all the time. So if you definitely notice them not doing too well, it's probably because there's not enough light on them. One main thing that is hard about taking care of these guys is they're known to grow algae on them. This happens a lot when the current is not strong enough on them, and sometimes it just grows anyways. And whenever the algae grows too much on them, it can kill them very easily. One of the best ways to keep it off of them is using a really soft brush like a toothbrush, and you just kind of barely rub it over the top of them to try to scrub it off. You don't want to get in there and be rough, just barely rub it over them, and that algae will slide off of them. There's also others that I've seen do freshwater dipping with them, but freshwater dipping on corals can be definitely risky. It will kill the algae off, but it will definitely hurt the coral. So if it was my recommendation, I would definitely do the brushing first. Now, these guys can get irritated by tangs, since they do start to grow algae on them at times whenever the current is not blowing hard enough on them. The tangs will go around and pick on it because they see that algae, and that can definitely irritate them. So if you definitely see your tangs start to pick on them, you might need to check them out. These corals do grow like Digya encrusting corals. They tend to grab the rock at the bottom and get a good foothold, and then they start to branch out everywhere and almost makes like a little tree. They're very easy to frag. Of course, you simply just have to cut off a limb and he'll do fine, but the hard thing is to get them to stick. A lot of people will get and glue them a lot of times to rocks, but their skin will literally slide off whenever they don't like what's touching them. If you try to pinch them in between rocks, a lot of times they'll just let go by leaving that piece of skin, and then they'll be floating around your tank. So you definitely want to watch out for that. Rubber bands are also something that I've tried and he didn't like it. He just skin slid off and he just went somewhere else. So I've seen people just put them in the sand. That's what I ended up doing. Just bury them in the sand just a little bit, and then he'll find his foothold there. Or if you have a little structure of rocks where you can just set him in the middle of it, and that way he can encrust on the outside and then grow really happy. So a lot of times people do have trouble getting them to stick, but as long as you can get him there long enough, he'll eventually grow out on the bottom where he's keeping a hold of the rocks. The main reason these Gorgonian sea fans can be so challenging is because they eat a ton. They are big time filter feeders, and so a lot of times tanks will run out of nutrition for them and they'll feather away. They will just not last. So you definitely have to keep up your food in the tank so that he can continually filter feed throughout the week. Make sure you're dosing stuff right so that he can keep eating. And then also with the algae growing on him, a lot of times your other fish that eat algae will see that as a snack and it can really irritate them then. So make sure if you need to brush them off a little bit, get that hair algae off of them. That could extremely increase your chances of keeping these guys alive. Lighting, the one you're seeing in the video is under 2 Hydra 26s. So he loves those. He grew really well under those. If you do have questions about your lighting and you're not sure if it is the right lighting that could take care of them, please leave it down in the comments. I will let you know. I've seen them grow on a bunch of different lights. So if you are not using the Hydra 26s, throw your lights down there and I'll let you know if he'll grow good under your tank. I really hope this video helped y'all out on taking care of the Gorgonian sea fan coral. If you do have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments. I'll get right back to you, or send me messages on my social media. I love talking with y'all. Just the main things with these guys is definitely try to look for more of an aquacultured one. It'll help you tremendously on them being a lot hardier. Make sure you got plenty of food for him to eat and filter feed on. Current stays strong, so he's getting plenty of water flow on him. And then also keep your lighting pretty high and don't pinch him anywhere in the tank to try to keep him afoot because he will just slide off. Please like and subscribe. I will be posting another video on Friday for y'all. It's going to be good. It's a double header this week. And hope y'all have a great week. Stay safe out there. And I will see y'all later.